Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to the Yoga Day Festival. My name is Shatakshi Goyal and I'm the head of the Classical Indian Dance Department at Govardhan Village. Today I have been asked to present a dance from Jana Yoga, Chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita. So I just wanted to come on here and speak a little bit about Bhagavad Gita to set the context. Usually I recommend all of my students to do at least 1.5 hours of mantra meditation daily and do at least 1 hour of reading, a shastric reading of all the stories and pastimes that we do, that we dance as dancers. So today we're going to get a summary study of the Bhagavad Gita so that we can set the stage for the choreography that will come. So in the past, Brahmanas had made these dramas for those who could not actually get the time or had the understanding or the training to study Shastras. And Bharata Muni wrote the Natya Shastra for all of us. In the West, who was the guru for theater? Aristotle. So his understanding of theater was plot-centric. You know, Burmese drug lords kidnap Manipuri shopkeeper's sister. Manipuri shopkeeper goes to Burma and burns their place, blows up their place. So the plot is the attraction in Western theater. But in India, Bharata Muni had made theater or dramaturgy, natya, bhava-centric. So basically the whole point of the theater or the drama was for the people to walk away somehow feeling transformed or touched, a change of attitude, bhava, a transmission of rasa to their hearts. So sometimes we watch films or movies that touch us and change our perspective to the world a little bit. And Hanuman Prashik Maharaj was quoting in one of his lectures that when he was describing this understanding of how Brahmanas have done the role of disseminating this knowledge to theater, in one of his lectures, he was also speaking about once he was watching a film on African American people and how his entire perspective of them changed a little bit after watching the film. So this is Eastern concept of dramaturgy, where we're trying to change a little bit, affect or transform, cause at least people to be thoughtful about what they have just seen and thoughtful and retrospective in their own lives. Retrospect in their own lives, how they can improve themselves or have more hope, have an enriched perspective to their own lives after they watch something that is coming from Eastern theater. So, what are we doing today? Arjuna's state is very, very perplexed. Vepatushcha shariro me romaharshascha jayate. He's saying to Krishna that my mouth is drying up, my entire body is quivering and shaking, the Gandiva is slipping from his hands. And we can oftentimes, I'm sure at least one of the times in our lives, we have felt this situation in which we feel very, very helpless, very, very full of anxiety on being requested to do an impending duty that we must perform. So everybody has come to this situation in their life. All of us have at least once experienced a situation in which we must do something and we feel greatly anxious by it. So here, Arjuna is actually having a breakdown and he's seeing his grandfather, his guru standing across. He knows that he has to kill Duryodhana and his army. Otherwise, they were destroying the principles of religion. They were destroying the Sanskriti, the traditions and practices of culture, of Vedic culture. And the only way for Dharma to be re-established again was for his brother Yudhishthira to rule and having defeated this army. But the thought of killing his grandfather, and his teacher was overwhelming him. So in our lives, we can relate to this. We might be going through different struggles to keep up with our responsibilities, whether it's loss of a child or parent or job or business. We're all struggling in our own ways, so we can relate a little bit here to Arjuna's situation. So this dance on chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, control your mind. Govern your mind, not the other way around. Set yourself at ease from this constant battle that you are having with your mind. Then you can see who you truly are. And let us go a little bit into a diagram that I have made for you and understand yoga as a process away from the mat, beyond the mat. So when we are involved in activities which are not mentioned in the scriptures or against the scriptural injunctions, we are involved in vikarma, or activities that bring misery to our life. And hence we are in the cycle of samsara, birth and death. So we see the ocean on the bottom. This is the ocean of material existence that is giving us a lot of pain. Unless we transcend this ocean, we will be vulnerable to the pains and pleasures of life. Also, the people who are worshipping demigods for different kinds of benedictions, whether it's wealth or fame or money or anything, a beautiful wife or husband or spouse or a child, there's many descriptions of karma kanda in the shastras in which you can perform certain ritualistic activities and ask the demigod for a certain benediction. This is also in the process of the samsara. This is also at that same level. One step above this is the person who is, when we are trying to do sakam karma yoga, or basically we want to enjoy properly as good, honest citizens. But there is still a sense of I'm performing rituals here and I'm doing it to enjoy the results. One step above this is when we're trying to do our duty, but not because we want to enjoy the results, but because we want to serve the Lord, even though it might be indirectly. One step above this is Jana Yoga, in which we are trying to cultivate spiritual knowledge, but this requires detachment, or it's marked with sannyas. If we go to this stage prematurely, however, we are capable of falling down from it, so it's a little bit risky. And here, we still are conditioned by the thought that I am cultivating that knowledge. The next step above this is called Ashtanga Yoga, in which we are performing yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So these are the 8 limbs described by the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and this is where Dhyana Yoga comes in. But here also we are conditioned by a sense of I am the one who is cultivating this knowledge. And one who perfects this, and this is very, very complicated and very, very difficult to perform, then one finally reaches Bhakti Yoga, that final step on the staircase of the yoga staircase. But there is an alternative way which takes us there very quickly, because it's through the Bhakti Yoga, but there's another way which takes us there very quickly, and it's called the Buddhi Yoga elevator. So 10:10 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that the Dami Buddhi Yogam Tam. So how does this happen? We get the Bhakti Lata Bij from a guru. Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. So if we are fortunate to be found by a spiritual bona fide teacher, and they give us this knowledge in the form of Bhakti Lata Bija, then through Krishna's mercy we are immediately transported to the last step of the yoga staircase, which is called Bhakti. So in Bhakti, there are 9 different processes of Bhakti that water this Bhakti Lata Bij, which is Shravanam, hear, chant, Kirtanam, chant, Smaranam, remember the pastimes of the Lord, Padasevanam, massaging his lotus feet, Archanam, which is worshipping him with different articles of worship, Vandanam, singing prayers, Dasyam, servitude, Sakhyam, friendship, and Atma Nivedanam, which is complete surrender. So it begins with a little bit of faith. Again, Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. So it begins with a little bit of faith. Sadhu Sangha is association with those personalities who inspire good qualities within us. Tatha Bhajana Kriya, that's our sign of commitment to our guru taking diksha, for example. Anartha Nivriti, in which we get rid of unwanted, undesirable habits. Then comes Nishtha, which is firm determination, ruchi, which is taste, asakti, which is attachment to our practice, sadhana bhakti, and bhava, emotion or a desire for a relationship, and then prema, which is finally love of God. And that prema manifests in 5 different ways: madhurya, vatsalya, sakhya, dasya, and shantarasa. So how is dance related to yoga? Actually, anything that you do, and if you are able to connect it to Krishna in any way, for his pleasure, to God in any way, we call him Krishna, that immediately becomes bhakti and it becomes yoga. So you do dhyana for Krishna's happiness, it becomes dhyana yoga. You do karma for Krishna's pleasure, it becomes karma yoga. You do natya for Krishna's pleasure, it becomes natya yoga, which is what we're doing here. Also, Anand Krishna Maharaj, in one of his lectures, he was speaking that actually we are practicing Gandharva Veda because we are singing and dancing, and that is how we're reaching perfection, through singing and dancing. So bhakti is essentially what we're doing through dance. What are we doing when we dance these pastimes of the Lord from Mahabharata or Srimad Bhagavatam, in which there's all these pastimes of Radha Krishna and Yashoda and Krishna, all these classical Indian dance repertoires in their emotive pieces, sometimes called abhinaya items. We're talking about Krishna's pastimes, right? Krishna's loving, beautiful pastimes with his devotees. So we are hearing Shravanam, we're singing this beautiful pastimes in terms of Sanskrit verses, or bhajan, Uriya or Bengali. Smaranam, we're thinking about Krishna, and we are offering prayers, Vandanam. So already, if you're doing it on Hanuman, the Abhinaya Dasyam is there. If you're doing it on Krishna and Arjuna, Sakhyam Ras is there. So this is the way that we are practicing bhakti. Essentially, dance, if you're doing it for Krishna, is non-different from bhakti. So Krishna is saying in the 6th chapter that set your mind at ease, then you will be able to see who you truly are. So Arjuna finally sees himself clearly after the next 12 chapters that Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters total, and he understands what his duty is, and he's able to then do it according to his adhikar. You know, we have a much smaller adhikar. He finally becomes rid of all doubts, and as a mark of the joy of his doubts being dispelled, there is a happy ending to the dance in which he is chanting Krishna Krishna. Okay, so with this, we will present the Dhyana Yoga Odissi dance as follows. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I shall not fight. Dhatarikita 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 dha dhatarikita dhatarikita dha dhatarikita dhatarikita dha.
Yogis contemplate the soul with mind, always the same. Just as lamps in windless places burn with steady flame, यतो यतो निश्चलति मनश्चञ्चलं अस्थिरं ततस्ततो नियेतत् आत्मनेव वशं नयेत् प्रशान्तमनसं हीनं योगिनं सुखमुत्तमम् उपेति शान्तराजसं ब्रह्मभूतं अकल्मषम् युञ्जनेवं सदात्मानं योगी विगतकल्मषा सुखेन ब्रह्मसंस्पर्शम् अत्यन्तं सुखम् अश्नुते. Fleeting and unsteady minds meander here and there. Yogis must retrieve their minds and govern them with care. Mind and passions set at ease. One feels great ecstasy. Former sins give way to show one's true identity.
धातिनी तकिट झा ततरगड़ ततरगड़ तातिनी तकिट झा ततरगड़ ततरगड़ तरगड़ झा तरगड़ झा तरगड़ झा ततरगड़ ततरगड़ तरगड़ कदन झा तरगड़ कदन झा तरगड़ कदन झा.
And of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental love and service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all.
Come to the front edge of your mat. Inhale, arms going back. Exhale, forward bend. Pull up your kneecaps. And stay here for a while, since this might be your first forward bend of the day. Rock your weight forward and backward between your toes and your heels. And feel your hamstrings stretch differently in each position. Allow your lower back to release slowly. Bring your stomach as far close to your thighs as possible. Continuing with the same breath pattern that we set at the beginning of the class. And bring both hands to the sides of your feet and pick up your right foot and step back into a lunge. Take your arms up and arch as far back as you can. And hold. And inhale, left foot joins the right. And walk both feet forward so that your heels can touch the ground. Look straight in between both palms, pull up your kneecaps, and try not to arch in your back, but try to straighten your back. Hold and breathe. And coming down without touching any parts of your body to the ground. Scoop up and bring your feet in contact with your ground from the back, front to the top of your feet on the ground, and knees off the ground. Hold yourself, allow your head to hang back. And coming up, back into downward dog. Walking your feet forward again so that your heels are touching the ground. Looking straight between your palms and release your push your upper back down. Pull up your kneecaps, look straight. And breathe. And bring your left leg up and in between both palms and bringing both hands up. Bend as far back as you can. And bringing both palms to the side of your foot. Take your right leg and join the left. Again, coming to this forward bend. This time with breath, allow your body, your stomach to release further onto your thighs. Make sure your kneecaps are pulled up. And inhaling, come up. And back. And come to standing position and lower your head. Once again, inhale, both hands back, keep your feet together. And coming forward into a forward bend.
And hold and breathe. Observe where the tightness in your hamstring is placed, whether it's up in the area of your hips or your upper thighs, middle or lower thighs, or calves. Where are you feeling restricted? Once you've located your inflexibility bottleneck, send oxygen there through breath. And with each exhale, try to release one tiny bit lower. All the while keeping your kneecaps pulled up. And bring both palms to the side of your feet. This time inhale and bring your left leg back. And bringing both arms up. And releasing both palms to the side of both feet, right foot I mean, and bring your right foot to join your left. Walk both feet forward so that both heels are touching the ground. And look straight in between both palms. Push your upper back down. If you've ever seen a dog come and bow like this to you, this is what they're doing. Their upper back is pushed down. Tilt your pelvis to point to the sky, your tailbone pointing up. This will allow you to further push down your upper back. Pull up your kneecaps and hold and breathe. And from here, coming down and scooping up into Bhujanga. Keeping your knees off the ground. And coming up, step both feet forward again. Bring your heels to the ground. Pull up your kneecaps. And bring your right foot up and in between both palms. Inhale. And bend as far back as you can. And releasing both palms to the side of your right foot, bring your left foot up, joining the right to bring to a forward bend. Pull up your kneecaps. With breath, release further down your stomach onto your thighs and bend your knees. Inhale, coming up. And come back to a standing position. Step your feet apart and let your head hang. Once again, bring your feet together. Inhale, arms going back. And forward bend. Pull up your kneecaps. And slow breathing. Inhale, right foot going back. And twist your ankle so that your heel comes to the ground. Your left leg, left thigh should be parallel to the ground. And bring both arms up. Make sure the hips are rotated such that they're facing the front. And look to the side. Pull back your torso and push forward with your arms. Looking straight to the left side. Virabhadrasana. Make sure your arms are not pointed diagonal. Check if they're parallel to the ground and rotate your right foot so that the outer side is hugging the ground. From here, lean forward, bring your left palm next to your left leg, and bring your right arm to face up. Push your pelvis forward. And coming back. Bring your left leg to join your right. Walk both feet forward. Pull up your kneecaps. Push your upper back down, look straight. And from here, release both feet and knees onto the ground. And fold your mats so that you have cushion under your elbows to do plank. Okay, grab hold of both elbows with your palms. Flex both feet and bring up your core. Engage your core and hold. Make sure your lower back is engaged and not released like this, but pulled up. And release. Bring both arms next to your body. Long, deep inhale. And exhaling. Inhale, bring your upper body up as much as you can, engaging your core. Lift your palms off the ground and bring your legs up as well. And release. Bring your left cheek to the ground. Once again, bring your palms this time next to your face and inhale and exhale. Inhaling, come up, and without using your palms, come up as much as you can until you need to employ your palms to press away from the ground. Push your shoulders down. Straighten your arms. Push your pelvis into the ground. And allow your head to hang back. And coming down, this time bringing your right cheek to the ground. And now bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, coming up, using your core. Then pressing into the ground. Push your pelvis into the ground. And simultaneously expand in your core to allow your arms to straighten. And expand your neck area as well. Don't be crouched like this here.
Expand, push your shoulders down and away from your ears. And allow your head to hang back. Hold and breathe. Release your lower back forward and unclench your hips. And activate your core, coming down. Bring your left cheek to the ground. And this time bringing both palms next to your chest. Inhale, coming up, using your core. Slowly, slowly press into your palms, keeping the pelvis in firm contact with the ground. Feel expansion in your abdominal area. And slowly straighten your elbows. Push your abdomen forward with your lower back muscles. And allow your arms to straighten. Push your shoulders down, expand your neck and head away from your shoulders and allow it to hang back. Unclench your hips. And bringing up your hips, bring your feet together, and slowly and gently release your hips onto your heels to come into Balasana and do a counter stretch for your back. Whenever you're doing back bends, for flexibility, you should always do a counter stretch. Walk your hands as far away from your tailbone as possible. Push your tailbone down and feel an expansion because of opposing forces in your lower back area. Slow breath. Coming up into down dog. Walk both feet forward. Release your heels onto the ground. Pull up your kneecaps. Look straight in front of you. And hold. Rotate your pelvis up towards the sky. And walk your right foot forward. Between both palms, rotate your left heel to firmly grasp the ground. Coming up, make sure your right thigh is as far possible parallel to the ground, bringing both arms up and parallel again to the ground, pulling back in your core or your torso and pushing forward with your shoulders rook to the right fiercely to do Virabhadra Asana. Allow your hip to sink low. Activate the outer side of your left leg to hug the ground. And push straight. Bring your right arm next to your foot. Point your left arm straight up. Open your chest towards the sky. And rotating towards your right leg. Bring your left leg up and join your right foot. Again to a forward bend. Release both palms down onto the ground. Pull up your kneecaps. Rotate your pelvis such that the tailbone is striving to point towards the sky. Shift your weight onto your toes for better leg alignment. And breathe. Make sure your kneecaps are pulled up very tight. Push your knees back as far as you can. Work with your breath to release further down. Inhale, coming up and bending backward as far as you can with your palms joined above your head. And coming forward into a forward bend. And coming up into a standing position. Bring awareness to your body for a quick moment and observe the different places in your body where you feel a little different. Inhale, arms going back. Joining up above your head and bending backwards. Forward bend. Shift your weight onto your toes. Bring your left leg up and back, coming up and bending back with an inhale. And release. This time, bring your knee to the ground and
walk your right foot to your left hand, release your right knee to the ground, and walk your hands forward, allowing your front leg to adjust so that you can be as close to the ground with a parallel hip position. And breathe. And coming up, walk your hands back, pushing your left hip bone into the ground. Make sure you're not rotated off of the ground here. Pushing your left hip bone into the ground, bring your back leg up. And release. Coming up, bring your front leg into a square position, pushing your pelvis forward. Bring your left arm up and over. Release. Coming onto your heels. Bringing both arms up. Keeping your kneecaps pulled up. Slowly bring your stomach to your thigh, looking straight forward. Make sure your back is very straight. With breath, slowly work your way down. And coming up, bring your left leg, left foot to the right palm, and walking both hands straight forward, and release your stomach onto your leg. And walking both hands back, and bring your back foot up. Make sure you're not falling over here, that your right hip is in alignment with your left hip. And bring your foot up. coming on to your foot. Come to a forward lunge position. Bring your left arm on top of your left knee. Inhale and take your right arm over. Push your pelvis forward and feel the stretch in your psoas. And release. Coming onto your heel. Inhale, arms coming up. And exhale, bring your stomach to your thigh, pull up your kneecaps. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms together. Put them on your eyes. And pat down your face. Spread your chi all over your body. Thank you.